Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome to the broad market sell-off of, what is this, September 2nd, 2017. I don't think this is a crazy market sell-off. Nothing to write home about. Some coins are being affected more than others. However, most of them will be fine. I think a couple of them have kind of been taken to the woodshed, but the majority of them are perfectly fine. Bitcoin. We're going to start with Bitcoin here. 12 minutes left in this particular 2-hour bar, if you notice on my chart here. And we're starting to see a little bit of buying action happening at this point, which is very healthy. If this is the bottom, that's really good. Nothing to write home about right here. If you've been paying attention to the videos, I have been calling for a top, but I'm thinking it's going to happen near 6,000 more than 5,000. So this is going to be a smaller sell-off, and I think we will be higher from here, and I think we will be okay. If not, however, I am wrong. So Ethereum, let's talk about Ethereum because we have been calling for a handle to form in Ethereum for some time. I've been wanting a handle, and it looks like I'm getting my handle. Unfortunately, it's taking, $7 billion of cryptocurrency market with me. So, sorry about that, guys. That's my fault. So here's Ethereum. We have a handle forming here. Looking at the charts, there's a similar forming top that happened over here on a smaller level where we have a large pop-up and then it starts to go sideways and lose momentum and then it drops. And the same thing happened over here. Just show you here. So we came higher, it rolled sideways, and then we dropped. And then it consolidated lower and then it kind of dropped again. So maybe we're getting something like that. Maybe we're kind of here in this pattern where maybe this takes place over the next few hours, maybe day or three, and then maybe we go higher after that. Maybe that's our entire handle. It's hard to say at this point. It's very early. We just need to let it play out and not panic. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, what's happening here? Well, Bitcoin Cash is kind of failing a little bit like Pay did a couple of days ago. I had a tale of two coins. If you notice that, I talked about Pay, and I think it was Bitcoin or Ethereum Classic. It was Ethereum Classic actually, and so we'll look at that when we get down towards Ethereum Classic. But here, Bitcoin Cash is doing what Pay did. Pay was in a declining trend line. It was consolidating. It broke out from that declining trend line, tested a prior high, and then proceeded to roll over. Pay did the exact same thing, so we can kind of look for Pay for a potential road mark for a Bitcoin Classic. So we have a declining trend line, we have a run up, tested the prior high, and then it rolled over. So let's go back to Bitcoin Classic. Chart pattern looks nearly identical, and so we're seeing a nice little bottom happening here as I'm recording this video. Nice volume signature on a 2-hour chart. Large wick at the bottom closing towards the high, so maybe we're done to the downside for the moment in Bitcoin Cash, but we could have further downside movement. When you get down towards these kind of defined lows and these kind of long patterns, these can go sideways and just do really weird things with price and volume. So you really want to look for a confirmation of buying. You don't want to look for selling that's done, you want to look for confirmation of buying. Ripple had this large, nice 100% run up back here about a week and a half or so ago. We consolidated that move. It kind of made a nice little flag pattern here, and then it popped up higher, and we're selling into that. We're selling into that euphoria. Looks like this could be a nice bottoming volume signature. We're looking right as I'm recording this video, so maybe this is the bottom. It's hard to tell. This wouldn't be a horrible place to take a flyer position in some of these. At least for the short term. Long term, it's hard to say when these things start to sell. When they start to sell, it's hard to call a short-term bottom unless you just extremely believe it's a short-term sell-off. This appears to be a short-term sell-off. We have a consolidation happening here, and then in Bitcoin and in Ethereum have a very similar pattern. If you see, we have a sharp thrust down, a consolidation, and we got another sharp thrust down. So far it looks like it's being supported, but we could get another move down before it's done if this is a very small pop. So Litecoin, my goodness, Litecoin. I want to go back to the 4-hour chart for Litecoin. Litecoin, we came right up to this level and blew right through it of this large channel that we talked about. If you're new to these videos, go check out my Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin video. posted a couple days ago, and man, this thing just blew right through this potential resistance level. A kind of signature that that might happen is this little base right here. This little base is very constructive. Shot right up, shot up, based, shot up, based, and then little base here, then just poked right through this level. If you start to consolidate in a healthy manner right before you see a resistance point, odds are it's going to shoot through it, and that's exactly what Litecoin did. So it shot through it, went up to almost 100, pulled back. We could be in a place where you could take a small position for a long-term play here. Okay, so we may get some further downside, but this channel, the top of this channel line now should be support. It should not hopefully go back into this channel. Dash had a nice dash to the downside, ha ha ha, and we're seeing a little bit of buying here, in Dash, testing this prior high. That's very constructive, very constructive. So I mean, there's not much to go off here. We have like 4 bars to the downside in Dash, and we need to have it form some more bars, do a pattern so we know what's what here. NEM has been living within its larger pattern. It's not been very constructive up to this point. I'm not a believer in NEM technically right now. IOTA. Oh, IOTA. I re-recorded this video a few times and it was sitting down here at 66 and I wanted to buy. Now it's at 68. Oh, missing 2 cents. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to take a flyer in IOTA here. Monero. Monero, kind of a broadening pattern here that I'm not too fond of personally. This is a leading coin. It popped out of this large thing from 50 to 150, 300%. Man, no wonder we're taking some profits in Monero, but the sell-off is not big. The sell-off is small. The sell-off is small. There's a lot of belief in Monero. I'm one of them as a technology. I missed this entire move. I'm waiting for a consolidation. I would like a larger shakeout to occur before I would get in. It needs more time. Neo still living in this larger pattern. Not much to do with Neo here. It's just living within this pattern. Like I said with Bitcoin Cash, when they get to the bottom of these patterns, of these large descending triangle patterns, what you want to see is evidence of buying, not lack of evidence of selling. You want to see evidence of accumulation before you get in. So Ethereum Classic, this is my other coin from a tale of 2 coins between Bitcoin and Ethereum Classic. So this thing came up, tested, and ran, but it's now selling off with the market. It did just have a recent pop. If you've noticed, the coins with the most recent run-ups are having the biggest sell-offs. That being because there's a lot of profit to be had and they're taking that profit. So what to do here? It's hard to say. Most of these patterns need more time at this point. I'll do another video maybe tomorrow morning, and we'll see what's what with these patterns. You just have to let them play out. You can't play fortune teller. You have to trust the patterns and trust that you made a good buying decision. And if you're brand new, that may not be the case, so you may have to take a loss at some point. But that's hard to say when. Qtum. Something about these patterns in Qtum I just don't like, so I don't trade it. I think it's a really thin stock, or a really thin pattern, so I don't really do much with it. Omisego is breaking my heart. Breaking my heart, Omisego. I wanted you to base above 11, but with this market sell-off, looks like that's not going to happen. I will say this, though. All of these recent bars have been bought into. There's accumulation in Omisego. This is a leading coin. This is a leading coin. I am pumping this coin because this is a leading coin. Real technology behind it, a real market behind it. They've already partnered with McDonald's. There's so much going on with Omisego. I need to do another introduction to Omisego video. So Omisego is a leading coin. I say use this to buy Omisego, to be quite honest with you. In time, if this sells off, you can use, you can probably use this 950 level as a level to sell if you get in here. Lisk. I do like Lisk as a project. JavaScript rules in my eyes, but it's doing a large basing pattern up here, not doing anything with this sell-off, which is very bullish. Very bullish. So keep an eye on Lisk for buying pressure. So I'm going to cover a couple coins. I don't mess with BitConnect. Stratus isn't doing much. Not much to talk about there. So Zcash broke out of this large pattern it was doing, but I don't like Zcash. It's very wide, it's very loose, it tends to flail around, it's not constructive, not my favorite coin. Waves, similar thing with Waves in terms of construction. EOS. EOS, I was thinking about getting in yesterday as a flyer, but after the market action and seeing how it's touching the lows here, maybe you take a flyer right here, but if these levels are broken, let's expect further lows in EOS. Pay broke my heart also. We've seen the video A Tale of Two Coins. If you haven't watched it, it's fairly short. So this is consolidating at lows. Looks like it wants to go lower, unfortunately. So past that, there's not much. There's Monaco coin that's living at lows as well. Most of these, looks like Pay and Monaco are competitors. They both produce a credit card that you can spend your Ethereum, Bitcoin, or other currencies with. So what did we learn from the sell-off so far? Number one, we're in the thick of it. Number two, maybe we've bottomed already. It's hard to tell. This needs more time to see if this is the bottom. We need to go sideways. Maybe we start curling up. It's really impossible to tell at this point. You just kind of have to go with the flow. Let things play out. Hopefully you bought really good quality coins and you didn't buy extended coins. When you buy things that are extended like Litecoin, if you bought up here above 80 or 90, obviously you should know you're extended from this type of a move up from 55. You shouldn't be buying up here. You should be buying down here. That's the whole purpose of these videos, guys. Teach you the right point to buy. Don't buy near tops. You can't buy near tops because you get sold off into and then you end up selling and you end up creating the bottom. Okay? So that may be what's happening here. It's hard to say. Time will tell. We're getting our handle in Ethereum. Long term, look for Ethereum to make you tons of money. And this is the beginning of that. This sell-off is the beginning of a constructive action that could lead to long-term gains. Unfortunately, for Ethereum to handle, apparently the whole cryptocurrency market had to lose a bunch of money. Alright guys, that's my video. Please subscribe if you like this video. Let me know the video format you guys want to watch. I jumped around a lot here. Do you like that? For a little while, I did one-off coin videos. Do you like that? Do you like 3 coin videos? Let me know what you guys like. Seriously, I'm asking for opinions and I really mean it. Subscribe, like the videos. I'll see you guys in the chat rooms.